Hey team, it's Heidi Bejo, and I am gonna chat with you a little bit today. Guess what? We are kicking off a new month, and guess what that means? It is time to set goals, gather our data, and compare to, go back and kind of compare to where we were a month ago, or even 2 or 3 months ago, or even since your journey first started, and plan accordingly. So today is the day. You need to make some time today or tomorrow, and you need to log your weight, log your measurements. And when we say measurements, basically that means neck, chest, waist, hips, right arm, right leg, left leg. So make sure you log all of those. And then also your picture, you need to take a full body picture wearing, hopefully just like a sports bra and a pair of shorts or something like that. I'm not saying you have to broadcast that everywhere if you're not comfortable, but it's really important that you take pictures so you can see how your body's changing. And then also thinking about your goals. So it's time to reflect back. Like I said, you need to look back over the last month, compare your measurements now to where you were a month ago and also where you started. And then same with your weight and same with your pictures. How do you look different? And a couple things need to happen when you're doing that. Number one, you need to celebrate where you've come on this journey. Granted, you may not be exactly where you thought you were going to be at this point. Hopefully you are. If you're not, it's okay. But just know, you have made progress, and you need to pause and literally take some time to celebrate what you've done so far. Pat yourself on the back. And then looking forward, what we want to do now is really look forward to what are your goals for this month and really this quarter and or next quarter. So but I don't want you to get too far out. You'll have your annual vision, but your goals need to be, we want to keep that time frame tight so that you have to maintain focus to hit that goal. So here we are kicking off a new month. So, what are your targets for your weight by the end of this month? What are your targets for your measurements by the end of this month? What are your targets for your hydration? Have you been drinking enough water? I know we preach this all the time, but it's so important. Are you drinking enough water? You should be drinking half your body weight in ounces of water. Are you doing that? If not, it's time to commit to doing that now. What workout program are you gonna do this month? And maybe you're in one that's longer, that's an 8-week or a 12-week program. So in that case, you're just continuing the one you're currently doing. But if you've kind of come to the end of the one, okay, what are you committing to? How many days a week are you committing to work out? Are you following that program specifically? If you're following the Beachbody program specifically, most of those programs really require 5, 6, 7 days of activity. Now, granted, some of those days are active rest and yoga and, some milder things, but are you committing to that level? Or, what's realistic for you? Is it 3, 4 days a week? You can still do a program, even if you're only working out 3 or 4 days a week, it just will take longer. So for example, if you're doing 21-day fix, that's a 7-day-a-week program basically. But if you're, only able to work out 3 or 4 days a week, you can still do that program. It just will take you, a couple months instead of 21 days or a month and a half. How else are you growing? When we talk about goals, the things I just mentioned basically surround fitness and nutrition. Also want you to think about your mind and your spirit. Are you reading books? Is there a book you want to read? Do you need some personal development? Do you need a book on confidence? Do you need a book on motivation? Do you need a book on goal setting? Do you have goals for community service that you want to kick into gear this month that you haven't already? Spring break's coming up. What are your goals for where are you going? Do you know where you're going? Are you even taking a trip? Have you even thought about that? I hope you're taking some kind of break, even if it's just a long weekend. Think about that. Also, trying to think what else we could talk about. Community service. Do you have things in your community that you want to do? Do you want to volunteer, some days at your children's school? Do you want to give blood? That's something that I try to do routinely. That's on my goal list. When there's a certain gap between donating blood that you have to wait on, but that's another one for me. So really get specific. And if you can log in on my challenge tracker, load in your updated weight, measurements, and pictures, and then go into the goals section and type this stuff out. You know, get specific. The book we've been mentioning the last little bit was called The 12-Week Year. Great book. If you haven't read it, again, I would throw that on your to-read list. It's a really good one. If you want one more to help with your confidence, great book called You Are a Badass. Give that one a look. For maybe that's one to take a look at this month and next. So that's about it for today. I'm going to keep this pretty short, but get in there, get your goals. We're kicking off a new month. Got to get the momentum. If you've lost some momentum, it's time to ramp it back up. Let's go get it. All right, you guys, take care. Have a great day. Live well.